2. I'll just show you this so you can pause it. Let's look at that if you want. I'm not going to bother reading it. The main thing out of that is that Enoch didn't die. He walked with God and God took him. He was 365. Oh, this piece too. Okay, a little blurry, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and Noah was 500 years old. Noah fathered Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Increasing corruption on earth. When man began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and that they took as their wives any they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim, giants, were on earth in those days and also afterward. The Lord saw the wickedness of man, and every intention of the thoughts of his heart was evil continually. The Lord decides to destroy them along with the animals, creepy things, birds, except he found favor in Noah. Noah and the flood. Noah was a righteous man, walked with God, had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth. Earth is filled with violence. God tells Noah to make a big boat because he's destroying all flesh because of all the violence. God says, Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. God establishes a covenant with Noah and tells him to bring into the ark his 3 sons, Noah's wife, and his 3 sons' wives, 8 people in total, also 2 of every kind of living flesh. Also store up every sort of food. Of the clean animals, 7 pairs. Of the unclean, just a pair, male and female. Of the birds, 7 pairs, male and female. God sends rain on the earth 40 days, 40 nights. Noah is 600 years old when this happens. The fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of heavens were opened. The waters were above every high mountain, and prevailed on earth 150 days. The flood subsides. God remembered Noah and all the beasts and livestock in the ark. The fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were closed. Noah sends out a raven, and it goes to and fro and doesn't return. Noah sends a dove, and it returns. Sends the dove out again, and it brings an olive leaf. So Noah knew the waters had subsided from the earth. The ark comes to a rest on the mountain of Ararat. God tells Noah, Go out from the ark along with everyone and the animals. God's covenant with Noah. God says, All moving things shall be food for you, except not to eat its blood. Also mentions don't shed man's blood, murder, or man shall shed the murderer's blood, and makes a covenant with Noah to never destroy the whole world with a flood ever again by putting a rainbow in the sky as a sign. Noah's descendants. Noah's 3 sons repopulate the whole world. Ham was the father of Canaan. Noah gets drunk off of wine, and Ham has homosexual sex with his dad, Noah, and Noah was passed out. When Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him, he said, Cursed be Canaan. A servant of servants shall he be with his brothers. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. Noah dies at age 950. Nations descended from Noah. It's just a list of generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All the sons born to them after the flood. The Tower of Babel. The whole earth had only one language and the same words. They settled in the land of Shinar and said to each other, Let's make bricks and burn them thoroughly. Then they said to each other, Let's build a city and a tower to reach into the heavens. God changes their plans and changes their languages so they don't understand each other's speech. So they left off from building the tower and dispersed over the face of the earth. Therefore its name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And that's why there are so many different languages over all the earth. Shem's descendants. Okay, first of all, Abraham's name gets changed. Abram's name gets changed to Abraham. And his wife Sarai, her name gets changed to Sarah, but that's later in the Bible. When Shem was 100 years old, he fathered Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lives 500 more years. Arpachshad fathers Shelah. Shelah fathers Eber. Eber fathers Peleg. Peleg fathers Reu. Reu fathers Serug. Serug fathers Nahor. Nahor fathers Terah. Terah fathers Abram or Abraham. Terah's descendants. Abram or Abraham. His dad's Terah. He had 3 sons. Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran fathered Lot, and Haran dies. Terah dies at age 205. The call of Abram. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country and from your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I will make a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and to him who dishonors you I will curse, and all the families of the earth shall be blessed." So Abram takes his wife Sarai and Lot, that's his brother's son, and all their possessions and leaves Haran, the name of the place, and head out to go to Canaan. At that time the Canaanites were in the land, but God said, "To your offspring I will give this land." Abram and Sarai in Egypt. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to tell Sarah to tell Pharaoh, their brother and sister, for fear that Pharaoh would kill him, and that it may go well with him. Of course, Egyptians saw how beautiful Sarai was, and Pharaoh takes her as his wife, and the Lord afflicts Pharaoh. So Pharaoh gets upset with Abram and says, "Why did you lie to me? Take your wife and get out of here." Abraham and Lot separate. So Abraham went up from Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the Negeb. Now Abraham was very rich in livestock, and silver, and in gold. And he journeyed on from the Negeb as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning. Oops. 1 second. At the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place where he had made an altar at the first, and there Abraham called upon the Lord. And Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, so the land could not support both of them. So they decided, instead of fighting, because there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's, Abraham says, "You go one way, I'll go the other." Lot goes towards the Jordan Valley because he saw it was well watered. So Lot goes east. Abraham settles in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled near Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram, "Lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward, southward, eastward, westward, all the land God is giving to Abraham's offspring forever." Abraham rescues Lot. In the days of King Amarath, Arioch, Chemalada, I'll just show you a picture. Okay, so those kings were against those 5 kings. And the big fight was in the valley of Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. So the 4 kings defeated the 5 kings, and Lot, who's living in Sodom, is captured, along with his possessions. One who has escaped told Abraham Lot was taken captive. So Abraham, along with 318 trained men, pursued them as far as Dan. He divided his forces against them by night, he and his servants, and defeated them and pursued them to Hobah, north of Damascus. Then he brought back his kinsman Lot with his possessions and the women and the people.